When you're with this person, do you ever feel like something in you is slowly draining out? On the outside, you look like any other couple, but inside, your battery is almost in the red. On the way home, your chest feels tight, your stomach is knotted, and you tell yourself, whatever, every relationship is hard, and try to brush it off. Deep down, though, you already know something's wrong. Part of you whispers, I should probably leave. But when you actually try to imagine walking away, it's like your feet are tied to the floor. You get stuck. You fight. You cry. You get emotionally exhausted. And somehow you still go back. Maybe this time will be different. Just one more chance. So you keep going in circles, ending up in the same place over and over again. Your heart is already cracked, but you keep taping it together and handing it back saying, okay, one more time. Today, we're not going to look at this situation from the level of feelings only. We're going to look at the structure underneath it. We're going to break down the psychological system that keeps you stuck in a relationship that slowly wears you down. This is Meta Insight Hub. Here, we don't just look at what people do. We look at the source code of the mind that's running underneath their behavior. 1. Signs that the relationship is draining you. Let's start with one simple question. When you come back from seeing this person, what feeling stays with you more? Peace and warmth? Or tension, confusion, and that strange emotional fatigue? When you're together, does your body feel relaxed, like your nervous system can finally exhale? Or do you find yourself editing every sentence, walking on eggshells, watching their face to see if you just said the wrong thing, quietly bracing for the next fight? The real issue isn't just, do we fight or not? The deeper question is, does this relationship refill my energy, or is it quietly draining me over time? If someone's face popped into your mind while I was saying this, there's a good chance this video is about you and that person. 2. Structure 1. Familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar freedom. People who stay in draining relationships are not usually weak. From the brain's perspective, they're choosing what feels more predictable. This relationship might be painful, but it has a pattern you know. You know roughly what starts an argument, how it usually explodes, how long the silence will last, and when the apology tends to show up. Your nervous system is used to that pattern. It doesn't like it, but it recognizes it. Leaving, on the other hand, means stepping into a world with no pattern. A quiet house, a phone that doesn't light up, weekends with no automatic plans, no one to check in with, and no one checking in on you. That empty space can feel more threatening than the pain you already know. So your brain whispers, at least this is a hell I understand. A new life might be an even worse hell. Let's stay here and endure. In those moments, you're not really choosing what hurts less. You're choosing what feels less unknown. And your brain, over and over again, picks predictable suffering over uncertain freedom. 3. Structure 2. Sunk cost and identity. The second structure is about sunk cost and identity. You've already poured so much into this relationship. Time, emotional labor, tears, forgiveness, second, third, fourth chances, and maybe even money, opportunities, or your own dreams. So if you walk away now, it can feel like all of that was for nothing. Thoughts like these appear. I've come this far. Isn't it too late to give up now? If I leave, does that mean everything I endured was meaningless? In psychology, we call this the sunk cost fallacy. We keep investing in something just because we've already invested so much, even when it's clearly hurting us. But it goes deeper. Over time, this relationship becomes part of your identity. You're the one who stayed, the one who understood, the one who held everything together, the one who always forgave. So leaving doesn't just feel like losing a partner, it feels like losing a version of yourself. You start to worry. If I walk away, does that mean I was wrong about this person? About us? About myself? That's why the real question cannot be, we've come this far, shouldn't we just keep going? The question has to shift to, from this moment forward, will this relationship help me grow or slowly erase me? The past is already spent. You can't get it back. The only thing left to protect is your future. 3. Structure 3. A relationship designed like an addiction. The third structure, many draining relationships work like a form of addiction, built on intermittent reward. Think about slot machines or certain mobile games. You don't win all the time. You win just enough, just unpredictably enough, to keep you hooked. That's what makes them addictive. A lot of emotionally draining relationships operate the same way. Most days are arguments, coldness, distance, or subtle disrespect. You feel unseen, unheard, or never quite enough. Then, right when you hit bottom, a completely different version of them appears. Suddenly they're loving, deeply apologetic, fully present, and incredibly sweet. For a brief moment, they become everything you ever wanted. Your brain lights up and saves that scene like a golden snapshot titled, "Remember this." And it tells you, see, they do love you. If we just get through this rough patch, we can have that again. It was so good that one time, maybe it can go back to that. So you stay, not because the overall pattern is healthy, but because you're waiting for that one perfect day to come back. The hard question is, am I holding on to this person or to the occasional high they give me? From the outside, love and addiction can look very similar, but there's one crucial difference. With real love, you become more of yourself over time. With addiction, you slowly disappear. In this relationship, which direction are you moving in? 4. Structure 4. Guilt and the savior complex. The fourth structure is guilt and the savior complex. Maybe you've heard things like, without you, I'd fall apart. You're the only one who really gets me.
If you leave me, I don't know what I'll do. On the surface, that can sound romantic, even special, but underneath, it can become a powerful form of emotional pressure. You start to feel, if I leave, I'm abandoning them. If I walk away, their life will collapse, and it will be my fault. And somewhere inside, a part of you starts to believe, maybe my job in this life is to hold this person together. That's where the savior complex quietly appears. You imagine that one day you'll be the one who fixes them, who heals them, who proves that your love was strong enough to change everything. But here's the brutal truth. If you are slowly losing yourself in the process of trying to save someone, that's not a relationship. That's a sacrificial contract. So you have to ask, in trying to protect this person, who am I sacrificing? Is my empathy saving both of us, or only them? And again, does saving them actually mean they are changing? Or does it just mean I'm doing all the emotional labor while they stay exactly the same?
6. Meta insight. Why you stayed and what matters now. Let's put all of this together. Staying in a draining relationship is almost never about being stupid or weak. Behind it, there is a complex structure. Familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar freedom. Sunk costs and shared history make it feel too late to leave. Intermittent rewards create a cycle that looks a lot like addiction. Guilt and the savior complex convince you that leaving would make you a bad person. So no, you didn't stay because you're broken. You stayed because this system was designed, piece by piece, to keep you there. The more important question now is, inside this structure, what is happening to me? Am I becoming more myself or less? 6. The 2 lists exercise. If you have the courage, I want you to try something. One quiet day, sit down with 2 pieces of paper. On the first page, write at the top, what this relationship has been taking from me. And then, honestly, start listing. Sleep, confidence, friends, peace of mind, self-respect, your sense of joy. Whatever fits, put it on the page. On the second page, write, what this relationship truly gives back to me. Not the fantasy, not the potential, not the one perfect day that happens twice a year. Only what this relationship consistently gives you in real life. Then put the 2 pages side by side. As you look at them, gently erase the excuses. It's not that bad. It used to be good. They'll change someday. When you can look at those 2 lists without gaslighting yourself, you begin to see the difference between love and gradual self-erasure. 7. Closing. You don't have to disappear. This is Meta Insight Hub. If this video helped you see your situation a little more clearly, I want you to remember this. You are not weak for wanting love, but you are allowed to choose a kind of love that doesn't require you to vanish. Your safety, your dignity, your mental health, these are not negotiable. You are allowed to end a relationship that demands you disappear in order to stay. If you'd like to keep exploring the hidden source code of the mind, you can stay with us, subscribe, leave a like, and if you feel safe, share a bit of your story in the comments. You don't have to go through these realizations alone.